15 things men love in women. In this video, we're going to go into what are those things that men love, that men crave in a woman that they choose to be with for the rest of their life, so you can have a loving, long-term, happy relationship with the man you want to be with without loneliness, frustration, or wasting time having men reject you, lose interest, or pull away. So comment below with I'm ready if you're ready to know how to make a man that you desire want to be with you more than anything. So hi, I'm Brody Boyd if you don't know me already, and for over 13 years I've been helping single men to attract the right woman for them. So I have a unique perspective into what makes the male brain tick, what men want, and so we're going to be going deeper into that in this video today, which I'm really excited about. So if you like anything in this video, my background, my shirt, the content, etc., anything, please give it a like. I'd really appreciate that. And also make sure to subscribe and hit the bell below for more videos on how to attract your man for a long-term happy relationship. And also comment below with I subscribed so we can welcome you. I'd love to welcome you to our channel as well. And also make sure to share this video with a single girlfriend or two, who could benefit from this info, who want to create a happy relationship. Let's share the wealth, create more happy relationships in the world. And also make sure to listen for a special secret bonus in this video on what things a man really wants you to share with him. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in to thing number one that men love in women, which is your smile. Your smile exudes warmth, it exudes femininity naturally, it exudes happiness, confidence, all these good things, some others that we're going to be talking about in this video. But you can accomplish a lot just by smiling, especially at the man that you're interested in, even when you're hanging out together, when you're having a conversation, even if it's just a slight smile that shows that confidence, that shows that energy within you. And think of yourself as being this sun that the planets start to orbit around. Be the rose. And draw the honeybees to you. Be the flame and not the moth. So your smile is a critical component of that. Number two, which is just as important, which is more of the energetic component, is your femininity. Now, femininity is the opposite of masculinity. It is everything that masculinity is not. So that generally involves being in your flowing feminine energy, receptive, the bright colors. I like to think of femininity as like the ocean. The masculinity is like the rock in the middle of the sea. So masculinity is about direction, getting things done, focus, structure, discipline. Femininity is the opposite of all of those things. So it is more the flow, the relaxation, you being that flowing force in the world, that brightness, that light that shines, all those colors of the rainbow. That is you being that femininity that draws that masculine energy to you like a magnet and makes a masculine man crave to be with you, because that's the only thing that creates real attraction, polarity, chemistry. Long term is the differentiation of the feminine masculine polarity. So very important with that. Number three is being fun and playful. So this could be a spontaneous happy hippo dance, as my wife likes to call it, or it could be you just singing spontaneously. It could be you just telling jokes, teasing, having fun when you're with him, being on a date, or if you've been with him for a while, you can still bring in that fun. You can bring in that playfulness. Have fun with him. Find that joy. When you are having fun, when you're feeling joy, emotions are contagious. He's going to start feeling fun. He's going to start having joy as well, and he's going to want to spend more time around you. So before we go any further, I'd love for you to comment below. I'd love to hear which country or state are you watching from. Really curious to hear that from you. Where are you coming from? Number four thing that men love in women is having goals. Now, you might think this would just be career goals or financial goals, which those can be a part of it, but other things as well that I think most masculine men will value even more, which would be things like, what's your goal for your own personal development? Family goals. Do you want to have kids? What would be your ideal relationship? What would be your ideal family life? Having goals, things you're moving to, spiritual goals, maybe things you're working on when you go to church, or things that you're doing that are evolving you, that are taking you to the next level, that are making you your best self in your life. Maybe it could be hobbies, it could be lifestyle, so it could be a lot of things. But think about what are those goals, and having goals is going to be very attractive because it'll naturally create within you being a woman that has something that she's creating, something going on in her life, which can be very interesting as well and can be attractive. Number 5 is warmth and softness. So this goes along with femininity, but think about being like the soft pillow that he gets to rest his head on, or the soft blanket of warmth that covers him, that he never wants to leave. That is your femininity. Feminine is feminine. Femininity is soft. Masculinity is hard. Feminine is kind of all-encompassing. Masculine is focused and directional, just like you would think of, having sex, right? It's the same kind of components, but it's on an energetic level. So if you think about bringing out that nurturing side of you, that appreciative side of you, that kind side of you, that gentle side of you when you're with a quality man, when you're with your man that you want, that softness and warmth can really become compelling, where he can't even imagine leaving you. He can't imagine leaving your side, and he starts to become addicted to the feelings and emotions he gets by being in your presence. Very powerful with that as well. Number 6 is making him feel valued and appreciated. Now, the fundamental masculine purpose is to be of service, is to be of value. And so when you are appreciating him by saying things like, "You're my hero," or "That's so sexy when you did that thing for me," or "It's so sexy when you open the jar or open the car door," or "I just love it when you take charge," or "I love it when you plan out the date. It's so attractive," and "Wow, you're so smart, you're so strong." Whatever those things are that you authentically admire about him, especially things that he did for you, that's going to go a long way, because for one, it's going to make him want to do more of those things and less of the things that you don't like. So you always want to reward that which you want to see more of. But in general, when you have an appreciation of men, when you have an appreciation of the masculine in your life, it'll draw that to you. It'll make men want to serve you. It'll bring in those knights in shining armor, those men that want to care for you, that want to be there for you, that want to protect you and provide for you, and make sure you're happy, make sure everything's taken care of, and make sure you're safe and that you feel safe. That'll happen when you actually share and appreciate and reward those that which men do for you. And you can use their love language. You can use his love language in various ways to reward him, but make him feel valued and appreciated. That will go a long way to drawing him closer to you even faster. If you haven't yet, I'd also recommend joining our free Magnetize Your Man dating and relationship support Facebook group, where we have over 6,000 women in there sharing great support, tips, resources. Go to Facebook and type in Magnetize Your Man. You'll find our group there and click to join, or go to mymfbgroup.com. It's completely free. It's our support community of all the women here that are watching. You get to share what's going on in your life, get support and feedback in real time. Highly recommend joining that if you haven't yet. Number 7 is being a great partner and being cooperative. So if you want to attract a man who wants to get married, who wants to be in a long-term committed relationship, then you have to focus on being that great partner that a man would see as wife material and not friend material. Partnership. Now, partnership is not just hookups. It's not just, short, passionate moments. It's about, are you guys a good team? Can you guys accomplish things together? Are you looking out for each other? Are you facing problems together rather than combating each other head on head? Like, this is the challenge. How can we face this challenge together and solve it together rather than arguing and fighting and seeing each other as the enemy? So being a partner, thinking in terms of partnership, is going to draw men to you, and he's going to fall in love with that very quickly. And part of that is also being cooperative, being willing to be creative and find win-win situations where you can both be happy with something and negotiate. Maybe it will involve some level of compromise, but in the end, if you're both happy, you'll create a better relationship, so you get the benefits long-term that you want anyways, that you might have thought you missed out on in the short term. So partnership and cooperation go a very long way in attracting quality men. Number 8 is happiness, confidence, and self-esteem. So these are naturally radiative, if that's not a word, I just made it a word, and attractive traits between men and women. And so you want to focus on really bringing that out within yourself. Confidence is about facing your fears. It's about being vulnerable. It's about believing in yourself, believing in your capabilities, breaking free of past programming. Remember, the past does not equal the future, as Tony Robbins likes to say. And self-esteem is also about valuing yourself, taking care of yourself, talking well to yourself, being your best friend rather than your best enemy. And happiness is also about meeting your needs and making sure you're taking care of yourself in different ways and doing things you enjoy and becoming happy and becoming healthy and doing all those empowering things for yourself. Number 9 is we want to show you off. Men want to show you off, and they want to be part of, have you be part of their life and be this amazing woman, this amazing person that they can invite and introduce to their friends, to their family. So being that woman that you feel you would want to show off, that you would want your man to show off, that you would feel proud of having your man show you off and complimenting you and admiring you, that can go a long way as well. And it's really a mindset. Again, thinking of being a great partner, it's about how can you make yourself into that woman, be the one, instead of finding the one, be the woman that a man that you want would want to be with, and that he would be proud to show you off and to introduce you to his life and to his world. Now, if you haven't yet, take our free quiz to attract your man for a long-term happy relationship. So you take our quiz and you get customized, personalized results based on your answers of gifts, resources we feel will really help you to get your man to come to you even quicker. Go to mymquiz.com. We'll put a link in the description below as well and in the comments. mymquiz.com. Highly recommend taking that now if you haven't already. And you may potentially be able to get coaching with my wife as well to help you draw your man to you even faster. So highly recommend taking that. Number 10 is positivity and optimism, traits that we love in women. Men love in women as well. So this goes back to kind of the happiness and confidence, but it's about your outlook towards life. Again, that old saying, is the glass half empty or is it half full? I like to think of it more as you make the glass full. Like, how can you make the glass full? Like, you're constantly looking at how can you make yourself better? How can you make your life better? And also, how can you create what you want to see? How can you create the relationship you want rather than a victim mentality or a hopeless mentality or a depressed mentality, negative mentality, starting to think positive thoughts to yourself. And, you know, that sometimes can sound cliche, but things like, I'm always moving forward. I'm always getting better. I'm an attractive woman. I'm a desirable woman. Men love me. Quality men love me. I'm creating a relationship I want. I have an amazing relationship. I have it now. So you're like affirming it, whether it's in a prayer, whether you're just imparting it, whether you're just affirming it, but you are creating those intentions, putting it out in the universe now, into the world now, to God now, that you are having the life you want. You are creating that relationship now. You are an amazing woman. And that attitude goes a long way and attracts men very quickly. Number 11 is loyalty and trustworthiness. So, of course, a masculine man, he doesn't want to partner long-term with a woman that he feels is going to betray him at some point, whether that's by cheating on him, is the big one, of course, which men are kind of biologically designed to avoid that, to not be with a woman that would cheat on them. But it also goes back to just, will you stand up for him? Will you protect his heart? Will you be trustworthy in the sense that you do what you'll say you're going to do? You'll keep your promises. That you'll talk well about him in front of other people. That you'll honor him, to his colleagues, to his friends. You know, of course, you want to make sure you're with the right man as well, and you don't want to just, you will leave if it's an abusive situation, but you want to keep your word, and you want to have those conversations if that's what you're going to do, or if you're on that path, and be willing to walk away. But when you're in a relationship and when you're committed, you want to make sure your partner feels that he can rely on you and that you can rely on him. And oftentimes it will be having those tougher conversations and getting things out that you maybe are unspoken on his end and on your end, so that you can both be on the same page and you could really both rely on each other and be that steady, stable force for each other. You know, the partners in crime, the ride or dies, that you will be this power couple moving forward. So it's very important. Number 12 thing that men love in women is being honest, vulnerable, open, and receptive. Similar to the last one, but this is about being willing to share your heart, being willing to share your deepest desires, your deepest fears, in a way where he feels encouraged to share his as well. A man can't fall in love with you if he can't feel your heart. if it's all just closed off walls, if you're constantly resenting him for things he did in the past or for things that other men did for you in the past, did to you in the past, your parents, or if you had some sexual abuse or physical abuse or mental, emotional abuse, finding that forgiveness and trusting yourself that you will be able to set boundaries moving forward so that you won't allow those things to happen to you again. Valuing yourself, having high standards will help allow you to feel safe when you're with a man, to trust, to take that risk, to open up and to be vulnerable, and to also be receptive, when he's vulnerable with you, and to be willing to have that shared intimacy together. You can't have that love if it's constantly a closed wall. And you just remember, you will be able to protect yourself. You will be able to set boundaries when you need to, and trust yourself that you're able to say no. If he does something you are uncomfortable with, or if he does cross a boundary, be willing to walk away if that happens. Trusting yourself that you're willing to do that, and practicing that. Practice setting boundaries at work, with friends, with families. Practice that now, so then when you're with your guy, that you'll be able to set that as well, and he'll respect you for it. Machiavelli said it's better to be feared than to be loved. I like to say it's better to be respected than to be loved. But generally, they're both important. But respect is something that you have full control of. You can control if people respect you. Love is something that just kind of happens. It happens after all the right keys are in order. A lot of that we're talking about here. But you also want people to respect you. And so that involves practicing the setting of boundaries so that you can be vulnerable and you can feel safe in that and trust yourself in that, which will then allow a man to connect to your heart and fall in love. So very key and important with that. And if you want to learn more about that specifically, we talk a lot more about these keys in our Trigger His Desire program, which, if you haven't got it, is super popular. We have women reporting amazing results. Highly recommend it. So go to triggerhisdesire.com, discover a powerful psychological trigger to make any man beg and plead to be with you. Again, triggerhisdesire.com. We'll put the link in the description below this as well. Highly recommend picking that up. Will really, really help you to have all the specifics on how to actually do this right away. So get it right delivered right to you with that program. Number 13 is interdependence. Now, let's imagine two ends of a spectrum here. We have independence, where you're totally living your own life. You're your own woman. I don't need no man. I'm doing my thing. And you're just on your own, right? And then on the other end, you have codependence, where you are, I need someone in my life. I can never let them go. I have to text them all the time, call them all the time. I live for him. He lives for me. That's the way I like to have it. Now, codependent relationships and independent relationships, for one, independent relationships don't tend to exist. If you're too independent, you're probably not going to have a relationship. You're probably just going to be, if anything, have a relationship with your cats, your friends, your family, but it's going to be really hard to have it in a romantic relationship, because you need to have some level of openness to your partner and be willing to share your life. And then codependence, of course, that's not going to last very long either, because generally they burn out. Generally, they become very toxic, demanding, desperate, and you guys will be fighting a lot, or he'll be pulling away, and it'll just go, his self-esteem will drain, or your self-esteem will drain, or both, and eventually you both will just have to leave. Somebody's going to have to break it off, and it won't go anywhere. So now the key is the happy middle, which is interdependence. And me and Antia talk a lot about this if you watch a lot of our videos or done any of our programs, but it's so key to have that interdependent relationship where you're locking together. You still have, actually, the way I like to think of it is like you're two people standing next to each other with your hands held, rather than if you're standing apart from each other, that's the independence, or rather if you're too close to each other, you're leaning on to each other too much, that's the codependence. So it's more like you're coming together, holding hands. That is a healthy interdependence where you're able to share, be together, spend time together, and maintain activities for yourself, maintain your own boundaries, be able to set boundaries, and him as well, so that you guys can have a healthy, happy partnership where you're not feeling drained, drowned, which was my first relationship, which fizzled out, or you're not feeling like you're just never seeing each other and you're just basically roommates. So it's that healthy interdependence that we're looking for. So now we go to number 14, which is shared interests and passions. Now, if you want a man to be with you long term, you have to also have things that you share in common. Values, goals, passions, hobbies. But this is one thing men love in the woman that they're wanting to be with long term, is something that you can stimulate each other. There's intellectual stimulation. You can have conversations. You can do shared activities, hobbies, whether it's hiking, running, exercising, playing board games, playing video games, reading books, going to church, reading the Bible, riding go-karts together, swimming together, surfing together. There's so many options, but what are those things you're passionate about? And be willing to look for men who share those same passions as well, and be willing to also explore which passions you share in common. So great questions you can ask when you're even first meeting a man is, what are you most passionate about? Or what are you interested in? Or what do you most like to do for fun? Ask them about their plans. Do you have any fun plans for the holidays? Do you have any fun plans for the weekend? That's a good way to uncover those shared passions. If you're in a relation with a man for a while, just have those conversations. What are you really passionate about? What have you always wanted to do that you haven't done yet? And look for those things and schedule those activities together. Go to a theme park together, or go traveling together, or sign up for a course together. Do those things together that you would both enjoy. That's going to bring you closer, and he's going to really love. I think that you also take the initiative in looking for those things. In that sense, it's okay to take the initiative to look for those things that you are both passionate about, and start to look into doing those things together, scheduling some things together. Of course, it's even better if he's scheduling those things. So I'd say at least start with the conversation. And then go from there. Now, before I share my last bonus secret for you, I'd love for you to comment below which of these did you already know about and which are surprising to you. Things that men love. Which things are you like, wow, I didn't know that? And which things are like, yeah, I've heard that before. That's a really good one. Or things that you need to remind yourself of. Yeah, I need to remember to value and appreciate my man more. I don't do that enough. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. Now, oh, wow, we have an extra one here. I actually put it out of order a little bit, but so we actually have two more bonuses. You're really lucky here. Number 15 is a sense of beauty and style. So beauty and style. So this, of course, beauty is one piece of the equation. It's a tiny piece of the equation. Most of these we've talked about have nothing to do with your physical appearance. So looking into beauty and style, it's about how can you take care of yourself in a way? How can you make sure you're mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually healthy on all levels? That's going to go a long way if you're just working on your health and your general levels of fitness, but also taking care of your style and appearance. Are you dressing in your most attractive, sexy way? One thing I'd recommend, if you haven't done it before, is work with an image consultant or get a personal stylist. Will really help one. We have one that we recommend. If you want to email us or join one of our programs, you'll find out about her. But she's really great. But that's the power of working with a coach, working with somebody who can see these things within you and without you to actually make sure you're your most attractive self. There's so many videos on YouTube about doing your makeup and style and dress as well. But it's about the intention behind it. Like, again, being the kind of person do you want? The man that you want, what kind of woman would he want you to be like? How would he probably want you to dress? How would he want you to present yourself to the world? And of course, this will help you in all areas, not just romantically, but with your friends, family, in your job, career. So the physical appearance is very important as well. So I don't want to totally leave that out. So you want to be thinking about that and how you're presenting yourself to him and to the world. And now we get to the bonus secret, which is being his biggest cheerleader. And so this is about, again, rooting for your man, letting him know you want him to succeed in his goals. You're here for him. You're supporting him. You're there every step of the way. Because for one, through the law of reciprocity, this is going to encourage him to want to do those things for you as well and to be your biggest cheerleader. But it's also a huge thing for masculine and feminine polarity we talked about before. Is the feminine. I think it's one reason why you have this stereotype of men being so attracted to cheerleaders, right? And all these fantasies. Well, it's because it's not just because of the short skirts. It also goes back to men want a woman who roots for them, who wants them to be who is there for them and believing in them. You can do it. I know you got this. You're always so great at these presentations at work, or I know you have so much talent. You're so talented, or you're so handsome, or you're so strong. Those little things you can say to him goes a long way, because men want to feel like you're in their corner, that you're there together. Again, it also goes back to the partnership thing. And he's going to want to be your cheerleader as well and say, let's do this together. We could both do this. We both got this. We're both awesome. So that's a very important thing, key thing men love, and will make him desire you, crave you, fall in love with you, not want to leave your side very quickly as well. So again, if you liked anything in this video, go ahead and like it, share with other girlfriends, and subscribe for more great videos like this. And up next, I highly recommend checking out my other powerful video I made on when a man deeply loves you, he'll start saying these 5 things, where we go into what words he'll actually say when these things are working on him and he's actually starting to fall in love with you. So if you want to check out that video, click over here. I'm going to pop it up in this video. You'll be able to watch that next. Highly recommend it if you haven't seen it already. Much love. Hope this was helpful, and can't wait to talk to you again on our next powerful video coming up very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.